What's going on, guys? Zennosh here, and today in this video I'm going to give you some of my personal insights regarding the little Queen Charlotte on her skills as well as the build. Okay, so let's see if she is really worth pulling or not, and if you actually got her, what sort of build is actually going to help her out, especially in the PvP contents as well as in the PvE contents. So let's try to just forecast her performance in this game. So right off the bat, guys, she's a light unit that is really good, ML unit, right? And she's of warrior class. That's pretty good as well. A lot of durability and damage at the same time. So let's start with her basic stats, guys. When we are actually going to talk about her basic stats, it's pretty much a copy paste of Luna. Whether it be attack, health, speed, or defense, it's pretty much a copy paste, guys. Nothing is different from the Luna herself, okay? And even the attack multipliers are pretty much in the same category as that of the Luna as well. It's only that her skill descriptions are a bit different. That's all there is to it, guys. Okay, so let's get into this video right away with the skills description. First of all, guys, it's known as the Judgment, her first skill or skill 1. And it grants her immunity for 1 turn as soon as she does her basic attack. And guys, this can be triggered even if she counterattacks or she engages into a dual attack. Yeah, so that's the really good thing right out here. That means you can already give her a counter set of equipment, okay, and that will really help her out as well. Second skill is pretty much known as a Queen's Dignity, okay. It actually says that she will actually decrease the damage suffered from a critical hit by up to 30%. Wow, that's good. Now there we go. That's the thing that we can actually really use in the arena battles than compared to the PvE contents, because in PvE contents the opponents are not really that good at dealing the critical damage, right? But in the arena, yeah, most of the opponents will really focus on doing the critical damage, and if she can just reduce the damage incoming on her by 30%, it's good, okay? Decreases the damage suffered from a critical hit for all allies except for the casters by 10%, and that can be improved up to 10 plus 1, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15%, guys, okay? Up to a 15%. When more than 1 damage reduction effect is granted, only the strongest effect is applied. Obviously, there are similar effects that can be provided by other artifacts. So whatever the strongest out there is, that's going to be applied, okay? Increases the combat readiness of the caster by 15% when the caster suffers a critical hit. Alright, so that's the another thing right over here as well. As long as she gets suffering from the critical hit, she's going to reduce the damage first thing. She's also going to reduce the damage taken by the all allies as well at the same time, up to 15%. Wow, that's good. And also at the same time, she is going to have a 15% combat readiness boost if she suffers a critical hit. So that means she is going to be a really good counter against the cleaving teams, okay? If there are cleaving teams, she's going to be really fast as hell, and she's going to hit them really fast back to back, okay? And that can really hurt that opponent. Now, let's start with her ultimate skill, the skill 3, the Wheel of La Mare. Alright, it has a 3 turn of cooldown if you skill enhance it up really nicely. And it smashes the enemy with a sword and attacks and penetrates the defense by 50%. Wow. That's really good, and it doesn't have any kind of conditional thing going on right out there like Kawerik, okay? For him, he has to be speed boosted in order to penetrate the defense, but for this unit right over here, she really doesn't really need to have any sort of other conditions in order to penetrate the defense of the opponent. So that's really great, and 50%, really nice. That means you can easily clap a opponent right off the bat, or you can just smash him to the ground really fast, okay? Especially if there are certain type of units that can be a really big problem to you guys, especially dark units, because she will deal increased damage against the dark elemental enemies. That is by up to 30%. Yes, her damage is going to be boosted by up to 30% if she is actually going to deal the damage against the dark enemies. That's a lot, okay? That's huge amount of damage. And this is obviously going to be a very good way to counter MLK and many other dark units right out there who can actually be a very big problem and a very big threat, okay? and recovers the health of the caster proportional to the damage dealt. Oh, well, this will obviously gonna be of very great help in the PvE contents, especially like hunts, boss hunts, right? Like Wyvern and the Golem hunts. This is gonna be a really great thing indeed right over there. But in PvP arena case content, I'm like, if you just use it for once, you have to like wait for 3 more turns. So that's the problem right out there, which I think is not gonna be really that feasible in the first place, because like speedy teams are pretty much prevalent in the arena content. So you will not actually see it being really used that frequently in the arena, but in the PvE contents, it's really spammable indeed. Okay. The next thing is, if you actually grant her a soul burn effect on it, which actually costs her like 20 souls, wow, that's a lot, it will grant her an extra turn. Now the problem is that like, even if she like gets an extra turn, so what? That's the thing. So not actually gonna give like some sort of like very good utility right out there. She will obviously gonna go with her first skill that is gonna give her an immunity buff, and that's it. Right? If it would like break the defense of the opponent like Euphine, that would have been better in my opinion. Okay, and if it had actually been able to provide any sort of like other really good status effects like stun, then that would have been even better. But just immunity, I mean, like, which can be triggered whenever she like counters or like she actually deals a dual attack. I think the immunity is very easy to get in this case for her. So getting an extra turn is pretty much a waste in my opinion. If the soul burn effect could have just increased her damage dealt, wow, I'm like, that could have really made her one of the fearsome unit, especially for the PvE contents. Okay, trying to do the boss hunts really fast. That's what I can see, and obviously the Azumanishik and every other PvE contents. So that's that, guys. Okay, right over here looks pretty good for me. Not a really great unit for the PvP contents unless she's actually teamed up with certain characters like Alots. Okay, if you have Alots on your team, and then like he actually gives an instant turn to Light Queen Charalotte right off the bat, she obviously is gonna clap out a unit right away. She's gonna make an opponent go to sleep right off the bat. And if you are also looking forward for a very long and prolonged fight in arena battles, you can easily give her the counter set or lifesteal set. Okay, these two type of like equipments is gonna really help her out. Counter set obviously will provide her the immunity buff all the time, and that means what's gonna happen is that like she is actually gonna have increased survivability and durability due to that immunity. Immunity is something really that good in the arena contents, and being able to get that one frequently is a very good boost indeed. Whereas for the lifesteal, obviously, as you know that like she actually decreases the damage incoming from the critical hit, right? So I'm like, by 30%, that's a lot. Okay, 30% is not something that you can really neglect. That's a lot, guys. Okay, and also at the same time being able to provide 15% of the damage reduction for entire allies also, that's very good. A very good unit, especially if you are trying to fight against the cleaving units like, let's say, Arbiter Vildred, Says, whatever the cleaver units right out there. If you are really going to counter them, then this unit is obviously gonna be a must to, you know, like, it's I'm like, she's gonna be a very good candidate for your team member. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. So right out there, guys, and for these two things, I think lifesteal set or the counter set is gonna be really good out there. Okay, I mean, like, as long as she standing in the battle, that's gonna be really great, isn't it? And if you are really going for the pure damage output, obviously the critical damage, or let's say the destruction set and the attack set, plus the critical set is obviously going to be really helpful for her as well. Okay, so those are the things that you have to keep in mind. So let's try to go and let's see like what sort of first of all what sort of devotion skills she has. Okay, so I'm not really impressed with her imprint release. Just look at it. I'm like, she only provides it for like 2 sectors of being an ML hero, and also at the same time like a 5-star nat, and just being able to provide the imprint release for only 2 sections of the, like, you know, like these tiles. Not really impressive, guys. And on top of that, once she's just gonna boost up the health of the entire allies, and with the imprint concentration, she's actually trying to be more defensive unit. I mean, okay. Like, this game is really trying to set her up as like a very defensive unit. Okay, this game is really trying to focus her into the that passive skill of hers, that skill 2, that second skill of hers, which is like, okay, it's like a little bit counterproductive in my opinion. I mean, like, we need more damage, we need more damage, okay? But yeah, with this kind of things, she can obviously gonna be a very durable unit indeed, okay, in my opinion. But I'm not a really great fan of the defensive stats, okay? Just for your information. Now let's look into the previous skills and let's see like what sort of skills that she actually gonna share, and let's see like how she's actually gonna deal the damage. This is her first skill, and there we go, guys. As soon as she deals the damage, there's gonna be a 100% chance that she is gonna put up a immunity buff on herself, which is obviously very great, okay? And this is gonna be your ultimate skill, and that's how it really looks like. A very good single target nuke, and I really love that, guys. A single target nuke is always great to have around, especially if you want to clap out a particular opponent out of the stage right off the bat, if they are actually gonna you know, like, be a very great problem, especially ML can. Yeah, that's all there is to it, guys. Oh, by the way, in case of artifacts, okay, in case of artifacts, you might be asking like, what sort of artifacts should we really give to this ML Charlotte, okay? Well, if you really want to build her up as a very defensive unit, you can go with some sort of like defensive artifacts as well, but I would really say that like try to give her the offensive artifacts. That will really help her out a lot, okay? Let's get into the artifact section right at the bat. It's actually taking a lot of time. It says like, as the health decreases, attack and speed increases by up to 50%. Wow, that's a lot, isn't it? Okay, I mean, like, she is really meant to outlast the battle against like so many units right out there. So El's Fist is obviously gonna be really helpful for her. I mean, like, the game really wants her to be a defensive unit and also add the offensive unit at the same time. And if you really want to go in parallel with the thoughts and the basic design of this game, then El's Fist is obviously going to be of great help for her. And let's see like what sort of new artifact is actually going to come out that will actually complement her as well. We still don't know what sort of artifact is going to come out with her own batch as well. So we can also really hope that there will be a good artifact, you know, to help her out. But if you really want like more damage, obviously Uber's Tooth can actually be really good. Her you know, the Luna artifact, or you can go with the Draco Blade as well for extra critical hit damage. That is also gonna really give her a higher attack boost, like damage boost, right? And that's that, guys. That's that. Okay, so this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. See you guys in the next video.